Right. It's been a tough time for the Prime Minister recently, what with MPs' expenses and a number of high-profile policy U-turns. Gordon Brown's PR hasn't exactly gone to plan.
His wife, on the other hand, seems to have taken to the public life with relish. She's been photographed with drag queens at Gay Pride, with Naomi Campbell at Glastonbury. But does it give her husband's image a boost, or just show up some of his own problems when she marches out in public?
It's a doggone shame that they couldn't all be mine. Looking so pretty, it's a doggone pity. Oh, looking so fine. Look out, brother, let me get a little closer to the one I love. Anything better than the opposite sex, they must have kept it up above. Here come the girls. Girls. Here come the girls.
So is the role of the politician's wife changing? Julia Langdon's a journalist, political journalist, trying to get beneath the public facade, and Graham Davies is a political PR expert who helps to create it, perhaps we should say. Let's get to differing opinions, maybe. I don't know, Julia, what's your take on this? Has it ever been thus, though, that politicians' wives have always had a little bit of a role to play in terms of PR for their husbands?
Well, they've always had a bit of a role to play, but a generation ago, they were very much in the background. Sarah Brown has come to public life when, well, she's been around as the Chancellor's wife, obviously, but she's come to public life as a public relations executive. We've seen a distinct gear change in the last year, and it started, you showed a clip there of Gordon kissing her at the end of her speech at the Labour Party conference. Now, that was an extraordinary thing to do, to put your wife on at the Labour Party conference. In the last few weeks, we've had Hollywood, Glastonbury, AIDS, she's pop stars, she's really notched up a gear. And call me a cynic, but I have to say that I think it's part of the attempt to make Gordon look like a human being.
But it's interesting, isn't it, Graham? Because that, in a way, that's the question, isn't it? Is this because she's an interested woman who wants to have a part to play, or is it because there's a thinking that she's useful?
Well, she's a strong personality without necessarily having an overbearingly strong personal agenda. She knows that the skills, the combat, the talent for aggression, even for bullying, that got Gordon Brown the premiership aren't necessarily the skills that are going to keep him there. He doesn't do small talk well, he doesn't do medium-sized talk all that well. He finds listening very difficult, even when he's dealing with senior colleagues. And somehow, she has managed to provide a catalyst for dialogue, sometimes cracking the barrier that he sometimes has between him and his colleagues. He does have a sensitive, caring side, as he showed in that magnificent speech he did when, sadly, David Cameron's son died. But it's that side of him which he finds difficult to access under pressure, and Sarah provides the key.
Well, I was going to say, but does she, or does she just highlight his failings? Because as far as I've seen, there's been very little, if any, criticism of her personally, or even the role that she's played, Julia. And yet, by looking at her as this wonderful, sort of empathetic, warm, intelligent woman, does she not almost highlight her husband's failings?
I think you might be touching on a point there. I don't know how this came about, but I think the people who run Gordon are trying to make him look better. And as you say, what they're showing is that he has a delightful wife, and he just still looks wooden beside her. And that he doesn't do human, is the phrase. You know? His small talk, as Graham says, is, "Hello, how are you? Can I introduce my wife,
And yet
Sarah?"
there are others that are close to him, and I've heard him say that he's a complete, you know, he's a great joy to be with, very, very funny in private. It just he has to be comfortable.
Yes, he's charming. He is charming, but it just doesn't translate to the public. And the reason is because really that's not what he's interested in. He's interested in the politics of everything and not in trying to translate himself.
There are some other very high-profile First Ladies now, aren't there? Worth mentioning. Michelle Obama, who seems to have a natural ability. I mean, it seems completely natural, her involvement. Carla Bruni It feels, again, it's a slightly different twist on the...
Well, of course, the concept of the First Lady is very much an American one, and the very title suggests it's almost got a pseudo-constitutional role in the United States. And if life consisted of a sprint towards the microphone, Michelle Obama would always win it. She can produce an almost rock star level of hysteria, as she showed in that appearance at a North London school. But I still get the impression, comparing her with, say, for instance, Sarah Brown, that although there might be immediate hysteria from Michelle Obama, it's the Sarah Brown type of personality that's more likely to produce long-term, enduring respect.
How much support do they get behind the scenes? Got to be brief, but just to give us an idea.
They do get some support from experts in terms of appearance, in terms of dress sense, in terms of what to say, in terms of editing what to say and what not to say. But essentially, their personalities are very much left to themselves. They don't try and alter their innate DNA.
Okay. All right, we'll have to leave it there. Julia, Graham, thank you both very much.
Thank you.